What's up, gamers? It's BKTV News Time.
I'm sous chef Ray Morrow.
I'm head chef Alec Burke.
Unfortunately, we won't be cooking this time. Instead, we'll be giving you the scoop on all things Farmington.
First up, we have Jackson Beers and Austin Bostic with the premiere of their new show, Feature Teacher.
Let's go take a look.
Coke, Pepsi.
Dr. Pepper.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Books or movie?
Books.
Okay. Summer or winter?
Summer.
Okay. Basketball or baseball?
Baseball.
Soccer or hockey?
Hockey.
Science or math?
Both.
Mr. Noblin, what do you teach here at Farmington High School?
I teach Project Lead the Way engineering as well as manufacturing and processes.
All right. How long have you been teaching here?
I've taught at Farmington for 4 years now.
All right. What are your personal hobbies? What do you do besides teaching?
Outside of school, I do a lot of woodworking, metalworking, and then I'm also involved with Boy Scouts.
What lesson do you personally feel clicks with students the most? What do you feel like they understand?
In terms of the engineering classes, probably our solid modeling, which is the software that we use to show the designs that they're creating.
Okay. What do you feel you bring? What personal touch do you feel like you give to the class in general that other teachers might not?
Bringing in, my hobbies of woodworking and metalworking and fabrication and building, everything that students design in my classes, they ultimately end up building and testing. So I bring in a lot of hands-on, not necessarily construction, but building, prototyping.
All right. Again, we'd like to thank Mr. Noblin for taking time out of his day to conduct this interview with us. I'm Jackson Beers.
And I'm Austin Bostic.
Thank you.
Who knew Noblin was such a Chad?
Speaking of Chads, we've got an interview with a Farmington alumni who is currently touring the country with the band 3.2.
We had Alyssa sit down with Andrew Coiour to talk about his music career. Let's check it out.
Hi guys, my name is Alyssa Sidebottom and I am here with Farmington alumnus Andrew. How are you doing?
I'm well. Thanks for having me.
So, what originally music?
Wow. I started playing the piano when I was 3 years old. My mom taught me how to read by the time I was 3, and so we found a piano teacher here in Farmington named John Stanley, and he was a teacher at the college, at Mineral Area College at the time. And so I started playing then.
You were involved in a lot of things when you were in high school. You played a keyboard. You said you were in, what did you play the keyboard?
Oh no, actually, so I played trumpet, and I played trumpet from, I don't know, what band may start in 5th or 6th grade now. When I was here, band didn't start till 7th grade. So I played trumpet 7th to 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. So I played in concert band, I did marching band, I did jazz band, and then I was in choir also 6th through 12th grade.
So, what will people be expecting?
From the original 3 tour from 1988, we'll be performing music from the new 3.2 album. And then Robert also has a history of the past 30 years in progressive rock, and he's done a series of tribute albums on a label called Magna Carta, which was a big progressive rock label. And he's taken some classic songs that you and other people may have heard on the radio from the 70s and 80s, and he's reimagined them. So they're a little bit heavier, they groove harder, they're a little more mainstream. So if you like the music of Yes, if you like Genesis, if you like Jethro Tull, if you like Ambrosia, if you like Emerson, Lake and Palmer, or Asia was another really popular band in the 80s, you'll love the music that you'll hear tonight's show.
Lastly, where do you see yourself?
Wow, that's a great question. Wow, you know what? So what's interesting is that I was a professional musician at a young age, and then my family really pushed me to go in a different direction. So I took a break from music for about 23 years, and just 8 years ago, I was still kind of a nobody from nowhere when I decided, I thought, you know what, I'm not going to go to my deathbed without really being a musician. So things have happened, I've worked very hard, but things have happened so fast for me, In the last 8 years, I'm not sure where I will be in 5. What I would say in 5 years is I have my own band, Circuline, and we hope to continue to grow our own audience. We have 2 studio albums, a live album. We have another live album coming out, another 3rd studio album coming out. So I want to grow our audience with Circuline. I have my own solo career. I've done some film and television work. I would like to do more of that. And I would like to keep also, touring with other major acts.
Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm feeling pretty hungry after hearing about all that music.
What?
Good thing Jackson and Carter have their next installment of the top 5 over the food lines here at FHS.
Let's check it out.
What's up, FHS? I'm Carter Klessmeyer.
I'm Jackson Oakley, and this is Top 5.
A big thank you once again for those who voted, which was only 85 people this time, but that's still good. This segment is not possible without our students and faculty, so please keep an eye out on your email to respond to our relatively small questionnaires.
This week's Top 5 is about your favorite lunch lines to eat from. Is it Mexican, Italian, Main Fare? Stay tuned to find out.
But before we get into the list, we'd like to get a look at what a couple of our students thought about what their favorite lunch line is.
Peter Chow, what is your favorite lunch line to eat from?
I'd say Main Fare. They usually got pretty good food,
Chuck Wagon, probably.
Chuck Wagon.
Main Fare usually.
Here's a quick thank you to the students we talked to, and now it's time to get on with this list.
On our poll options, we listed 10 options, but this list is only going to consist of the 5 most popular, 5 being the least popular and 1 being the overall most popular.
To get this started, at number 5, we have a la carte and sack lunch. This spot is a tie, and both of these options are separately brought in 8 voters and individually brought in 9.4% of the overall votes. Yeah, this actually is surprising to me for sack lunch because although I do see a lot of sack lunch being in the top 5, that's pretty impressive. And a la carte, that always stretches out to those stairs at the very end by deli and like the deli line.
Blocked the Chuck Wagon line.
Yeah, they blocked the Chuck Wagon line too, so yeah.
Coming in at number 4 is deli. This line brought in 9 voters, which is 10.6% of the overall votes. I'm shocked about this because I thought it would get overlooked by some of our other options that I personally think are better, such as the a la carte line.
Making it to the 3rd place is Mexican line. This line got 13 voters, being 15.3% of the overall votes, which Mexican, Mexican line is pretty popular, not as popular as some of the other ones, so I do see it being right in the middle in 3rd place. But yeah, good placement for Mexican line.
With 20 votes saying it would be the top pick on our list, Chuck Wagon takes our 2nd place. This line received 14 votes, being 16.5% of the overall votes. A surprising loss for the top place? Not really, but I am somewhat surprised that Main Fare didn't top Chuck Wagon.
And taking the top place out of this segment of top 5, Italian line. The Italian line received 21 votes, being 24.7% of the overall votes. And, well, were we surprised? No, we're not surprised. Because this line is very packed, at least in our lunch shift.
Yep.
And it stretches out, and it looks like it's part of Main Fare sometimes, even
it gets
Italian,
confusing.
yeah. And it's a pretty big line.
Yep.
Not surprised to see it.
All right. Well, this has been Top 5 Favorite Lunch Lines. Our next segment will be Top 5 Favorite Sports from FHS. Be sure to be watching your emails to find the questionnaire to cast your vote.
Thanks for watching.
While we're on the topic, the girls cross country team is going to state.
Next up, we've got Max and Evan, who had the opportunity to sit down with a couple of the state qualifiers to find out more.
I'm Evan Hudson from the Night Show Spotlight. What's up, Knights Nation? Today we have an interview with 2 members of the girls cross country team that recently qualified for state. Can you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm Corinne Myers.
And I'm Brianna Mathis.
And they will be going to state along with a few other runners. This is the first state appearance for girls in 8 years. What does that mean to you guys in the state?
Well, actually, we were discussing this earlier this week that actually they qualified in Class 3. So this is the first time we've ever qualified in the Class 4 division. So this is pretty exciting.
Which is the highest class.
Yeah, which is the hardest class to qualify for. So this is pretty exciting, especially since I'm a senior, it's
And,
quite
and we have
exciting.
like a young team, so it's also kind of promising for
Yeah.
the future too.
To the viewers who may not know, where will state be held?
Columbia and
On Mizzou's course.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good. Running with the big dogs.
Yeah.
So this year the team is very talented. What are you guys expecting for them to do at state?
Well, as a team, we're ranked around 12th, I believe. That's not definite though. We're going out there to do our best, and
We want to beat Narinx Hall.
Yes,
That's
sure.
the goal.
That's the goal.
Because we are the second smallest team in Class 4, besides West Plains, so it's a lot more competition for us. But we're going out there to do our best, make an appearance, and then hopefully come in the next couple years and place higher too.
Yep. As a team, how have you guys been preparing for this difficult run at state?
A lot of hard workouts,
Yes.
a lot of miles being put in.
Off-season training for sure. You can't just show up and do it.
Yeah, we've been preparing for the last year
Yeah.
for this moment,
Yeah.
more than just the past week, but I feel like we've tried to kind of stay loose and kind of keep a positive atmosphere to try to prepare for this.
Anything else you want to say to the people about, going to state and how you feel about it?
Well, we have photos of me whenever we actually found out that we were going to state, and I cried a lot that day. It means a lot to me, especially being a senior, to have this opportunity and to have the girls kind of help me get to this place where I'm at. So yeah, that's what it means to me.
And it's a really big deal just because we've worked so hard to get here, and it's so worth it, and we're just going to go out there and do our best and then do better every year. So.
How many cross-country runners actually makes up a team?
So in the actual varsity team, there are 7 cross-country runners. 5 are actually your point scorers, and then the other 2 just kind of try to push back the other 5 runners. But we actually have 10 girls, 3 alternates going to stay with us this weekend.
That's pretty cool. And on behalf of Knights Nation, wish you guys good luck at state. Hopefully you guys do good. And yeah.
Thank you.
I've been Evan Hudson with BKTV, and that concludes this interview.
What's up, Knights Nation? I'm Colton Wilkerson. I'm here with Mr. Logan Tabor, and we're here to talk a little bit of football. So, Logan, how is your season going?
The season's going very well. Right now we're 7-3, and we haven't been that way in a while.
How do you feel about going into the district semifinals?
Good. Last year Festus took us out of the season the same week in the same field, and there's not really any better motivation than getting revenge.
How do you see you and the rest of the team moving forward the rest of the season?
Well, as soon as we knock them out of the bracket, I think we got a pretty good run.
So what are your thoughts on playing Festus this Friday, knowing that last year your season ended playing them?
I mean, good. We're a much better team than we were last year, and like I said, there's no better motivation than getting that sweet revenge.
Oh yeah. How does being a senior this year affect you and your performance for this season and this postseason?
Well, this year I'm a lot more experienced, and like a lot of our seniors, we're very fundamentally sound, and we just pretty much know what to do, and like we've seen most situations, and we know how to deal with them.
Well, Logan, thank you for coming in and letting me interview you. I'm Colton Wilkerson. This is Logan Tabor, and we'll see you.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
That's all the time we've got for this episode of BKTV News.
Me and Ray need to go cook some popcorn balls. Keep an eye out for what's next on What's Cooking.
I'm sous chef Ray Morrow.
I'm head chef Alec Burke.
Thanks for watching. Oh, psyched you out there. You don't know where I'm going.